You ever feel like your life got decided for you in a single moment? Like one accident, one choice, one careless sentence chained you to a destiny you never agreed to? For me, it all started when I was 16, with a broken wrist that wasn't even mine. My mom, Lydia, shattered hers 2 days before Thanksgiving. She waved from her recliner, drugged up on painkillers, and announced with absolute confidence, "Nora can handle it." That was it. No plan, no guidance. Just me, 16, terrified, facing down 23 hungry relatives. I stayed up until 3 in the morning, crying over burnt rolls, praying the turkey wasn't raw. The food was edible, barely. But everyone clapped. What a capable daughter. You're so lucky, Lydia. My mom beamed, my dad nodded. And just like that, Thanksgiving became mine. That was 18 years ago. Every November since, I've been trapped. The guest list grew, marriages added cousins, babies became kids, 30 people turned into 32. But my role never changed. Nora's Thanksgiving became a brand. Famous stuffing, perfect gravy, the legend of my cranberry sauce. People even brought strangers just to taste my food. And while they laughed in the living room, I sweated in a 12-hour kitchen marathon. I missed football games, board games, conversations, memories. I ate cold stuffing at the counter while washing dishes no one else touched. The worst part? The suggestions. Turkey was a little dry last year. Could you tone down the salt in the stuffing? Your rolls are fine, but Aunt Helen's were better. Not once did they ask what I wanted. Not once did anyone offer real help. By my mid-20s, it felt less like family and more like unpaid catering. Friends invited me to their holidays. I always said no. I can't. I'm the cook. They'd laugh. So, tell your family to pitch in. But that was unthinkable. The one time I hinted, my dad looked horrified. But it won't be the same. You're the best at it. It's tradition. Tradition. That word became a cage. And the cage only got smaller. A cousin's new boyfriend brought a list of allergies. My sister-in-law demanded gluten-free versions of every dish. Dad started handing me guest lists days before Thanksgiving, casually adding strangers. You'll figure it out. You always do. I did figure it out. Until I couldn't. Last year broke me. 32 mouths. 3 days notice. And when I said, "I mind," my dad looked genuinely confused. "You've always handled it, Nora. What's different now? What's different?" I was 34, and I realized I'd sacrificed 18 holidays for people who saw me as a pair of hands, not a daughter. That Thanksgiving, I snapped. I yelled. I cried in the pantry. I served dinner with red eyes. And when they called me dramatic, suggested I just manage my stress better, something inside me cracked. I started therapy in January, and my therapist asked one question that haunted me. What if you just said no? I laughed at first. Say no? Impossible. Thanksgiving would collapse. My family would guilt me, hate me. But then she asked, and what if it collapsed? What would really happen? That question saved me. By October, I made a plan. One final meal, then I'd announce my retirement. But old habits die hard. I found myself grocery shopping anyway, filling carts for a feast I didn't want to cook. And in the middle of aisle 6, I froze. Why was I doing this? Why was I spending money and time and energy to prepare a banquet no one appreciated? I left the cart, walked out, went home, and booked a last-minute flight to Portland. The night before Thanksgiving, my dad called. Okay, cooking starts at 4 a.m., right? Oh, and Uncle Ray's bringing his new girlfriend, vegetarian. So make sure there are options. Also, the kids want plain pasta just in case. I took a breath. Dad, I'm not cooking tomorrow. Silence. Then laughter. Nora, that's not funny. I'm serious. I'm leaving town. The explosion came fast. Accusations. Guilt. You're abandoning family. Everyone's counting on you. But I stayed calm. Order catering. Make it potluck. Figure it out. Families across America do it every year. And for the first time in my life, I hung up. Thanksgiving morning at 3 a.m., while my family expected me in an apron, I was in an airport with a coffee and a boarding pass. The guilt gnawed at me, but so did something else, something I hadn't felt in 18 years. Freedom. Portland was small, simple. 8 people around a table, each bringing a dish. I contributed wine, helped clean, played board games after dinner. It was human. It was joy. Back home. Chaos. Panic. No turkey, no feast. Some relatives found a half-open grocery store. Others scrounged in my parents' pantry. They ended up with canned beans, frozen pie, and overcooked pasta. The messages flooded my phone. 47 texts. Anger, hurt, manipulation. You ruined Thanksgiving. How could you? But then, buried among the blame, a few messages shined. My cousin, I never realized how much work you did. I'm sorry. My aunt, we should have helped years ago. Even my brother, mom and dad are furious, but I'm proud of you. And the most surprising, my teenage niece. It was kind of fun figuring out dinner together. Uncle Ray burned the rolls, though. That's when I understood my rebellion wasn't the end of Thanksgiving. It was the beginning of a better one. The next year, they tried potluck. It wasn't perfect, but it was shared. People cooked, people cleaned, kids learned to chop vegetables instead of just eating them. For the first time, I sat at the table and watched football instead of serving. Some relatives stopped coming, angry that the free luxury ended. But the ones who remained, they actually wanted me, not my food. 3 years later, our gatherings are smaller, warmer, real. I still cook, dishes I enjoy, not an entire feast alone. And every other year, I fly somewhere new with friends. Looking back, I know the truth. I didn't ruin Thanksgiving. I saved it. Because love without boundaries isn't love, it's exploitation. And sometimes, the most radical act of love is saying no.